Remembering about the adventurers that were escorting the merchant's carriage, Ayaka asked, I was wondering what my level would need to be in order to escort merchants. When we were coming into town, I saw a group of adventurers walking with a merchant. Though I know my level isn't high enough, thinking about how much they earn made me wonder what it was like. Ayaka could sense a shy smile emerging on her face, realizing that her request was ridiculous. The worker was considerate and didn't laugh at Ayaka for being curious. She seemed to be understanding as to why Ayaka would be interested. It was likely something all adventurers starting off wondered about. I think I know the group that you're talking about. As required by the guild, adventurers on jobs need to keep us informed. So, they had stopped by to alert us that they were finished with their business in our town and was moving on to the next location. The worker explained, If you're curious about them, you're really aiming high. There was a slight curve to her lips. Why? Ayaka couldn't help to move closer to the worker. It seemed like there was some kind of story with the adventurers. It's not like they're famous, but each of them is over level 20. Their high level is what allows them to take on the job. Between stops as they follow the merchants, there are risks of bandits, monsters, and numerous other threats they need to be ready to handle. You likely notice their gear too. The worker stopped, raising an eyebrow as though already knowing the answer to a question. Ayaka simply nodded, wanting to hear more. Those adventurers are wearing gear that likely cost over 1,000 guild points, each one crafted by another adventurer, the worker said. Hearing that the equipment was over 1,000 guild points, Ayaka's eyes widened in surprise. As I said, you're really setting your sights on a lofty goal, the worker smiled. I can't tell you the amount that the job is paying, but it's over several thousand guild points. It's a multi-day job, and including the potential danger, the cost is significantly higher for the merchant. Not expecting the pay to be so much, Ayaka felt a little lightheaded. But to be honest, not all escorting jobs pay that much. It's purely dependent on the cost of the inventory being transported and how dangerous the route is for the adventurer, the worker explained. As though wanting to give Ayaka a better sense of what was being asked, the worker motioned for Ayaka to follow after her. She began heading over to the jobs board for levels above 10. Ayaka was curious about what the worker wanted to show her. Reaching the board, the worker took a moment to search for something from the numerous jobs posted. Seeing that the worker was looking for a particular job, Ayaka stayed quiet, knowing that the worker was helping to satisfy her curiosity about the higher level jobs. Pointing at one of the papers, the worker smiled. This is likely one of the first escorting jobs you and your group would accept after you cross the level 10 threshold. The worker looked at her before continuing. This is a job for escorting a merchant to the closest town, which is a day's worth of travel. You'd be leaving in the morning and arriving at the next town before the sun set. It's a pretty straightforward job. Being high enough in level, there wouldn't be a worry about running into night wolves, even if they're becoming more active outside of their usual times. Ayaka moved closer to be able to read what was on the paper. The first thing that she noticed was the amount of guild points that were offered, which was several hundred guild points. Ayaka pointed at the paper and turned her head towards the worker. That number is correct. It might not be the same by the time you accept such a request, but it should be relatively close. The woman smiled at Ayaka's reaction. Seeing that Ayaka didn't understand, she continued. Escorting jobs require a team. This means multiple adventurers who will end up splitting the reward amongst themselves. Remember, adventurers have other expenses that they have from daily use, so the merchant needs to offer an amount that takes into account both the risk of the job on top of expenses that will be generated due to the journey.